Alright, what's up everyone? It is Peter, or Mask of Momentum here, and today we're going to go over a super special video from this weekend at the Realm Rumble 20k. Is that two of me? Why is it? Why am I right there, but I'm also right here? Oh my god, this is my camera game versus Aether and Shantz in round 11 of day 2 of the Realm Rumble, where I thankfully got to be on camera playing, you know, my main stick, my main boy, Kano, in CC versus Dromai as well. This is one of the craziest games I've actually ever played, and can't wait to get into it as well. As many of you know, I had a quite historic run, quite a good run this weekend at the Realm Rumble. Amazing tournament to be there at, and just an amazing time to interact with everybody, say hi to everybody, and do the whole shebang. And also doing good at a tournament, you know. It's been a little bit, been a lot of close calls for me, just like some min cashes and stuff like that for this year. Had some pretty disappointing performances late into the late rounds, just like not being always there in my head or anything like that. And I'm glad that we could get a pretty good results this weekend as well. So let's watch this game here versus Aether and Shantz, who just came off a world's top 4 as well. This Dromai Kano matchup, super finicky, I'd probably say, is that the margin is like super thin, right? I actually start off with a pretty interesting line here. I have triple blue and Lesson in Lava here. So what you can do with triple blue Lesson in Lava is basically chain these Lesson in Lavas down the line to do a couple of damage. It's quite good here. So you can do double Lesson in Lava or a triple Lesson in Lava. Shortcutting on stream just a little bit, but I'm putting it out there for there. So I'm getting the first Lesson in Lava for 4, and then getting the second one for 3, and just explaining for the camera that I'm just like canoeing with the second blue, put it up there. Now there's a couple different lines you can do from here. Obviously I have one last blue in my hand, so on like the lesson trigger on the stack, the last blue, you can pretty much get wildfire here. You get red tome, you could put, you know, a wildfire on top, keep the blue. You could blind Kano to see if there's a potion on top, and then go search for the stuff. But I think I just want to get the max amount of damage I can get here. All this like chip damage versus Dromai to get into the combo range is like really important, as well as if I have to be able to just do natural damage versus the Dromai to kill the Dromai. That is also something that can work out as well. I know Aether and Shantz is playing yellow tomes in his list, and he does have a little bit more pitch cards. He usually plays around like 5 or 6 blues in a lot of his deck lists, and has obviously those yellow tomes as well, and, you know, has the red tomes to, you know, that are basically blues and have all these power turns for him. So I wanted to get a lot of these damage through with the double lesson into blazing, and does give up an arsenal, but I think being able to give up an arsenal for 9 damage is quite good. You can see me, I roll my eyes a little bit and at this, because had a great start, and he immediately has a Thumai on the board here. I think my hand was like double blue and a couple of other things here. So I used 1 blue to play the Potion of Deja Vu, because I'm not going to get a lot of damage through, and I just want to see what he does going into this. Basically, the line of hitting lesson into Aether Wildfire to arsenal the Wildfire, and then trying to combo as soon as you can, like instantly loses to if they play Themai. So I did go with the one that has the more damage output into the double lessons into blazing, which kind of saves a lot of my potential of getting blown out by Themai, right? The problem is I've gotten through 2 lesson levels, so tutoring the cards like Dampen and the red Aether Darts to kill Themai are a lot less likely, but can be something that we can do. Something that I noted instantly when Aaron popped this gold was that he does pitch double blue into this, so it is quite good for us to get a decent amount of value off of our arcane spells later down the game, because of, you know, he's minusing 2 blues. If he's only playing 6 blues, he only has 4 left in his deck, which is quite likely for him not to see them at later turns when he needs them, which comes in here. So, pretty interesting as well, as he plays Necria instead of the red Rake the Embers here. He doesn't have enough Ash to be able to basically to get through him and like make a whole bunch of Ash Wings, but he does have 1 Ash Wing right now, so he has AB1. He started with the Silken Form, which I think more and more I've seen Dromai start with the Silken Form because you don't really need the natural AB a lot of the time, because, you know, Runeblades don't really exist in the format, and the only person that uses AB is Kano, and if you're gonna have dedicated slots to Kano, you're trying to attack for, like, I don't know, I think it's like attacking for like less than 2 to 5% of the meta is like actually insane. There was 8 Kanos this weekend at an 115 person like event, which is quite a lot, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I think only 2 made day 2, and it was which was just me and Majin, and then 1 made top 8, obviously through me. And you could say that, like, I know one of them made the top 8 of the 10k as well, but I would probably say that, like, you could just simply see that, like, it is very hard to witness Kano and win reliably, even though the matchups should be the best that it should be for Kano currently, but it is very, very hard to do everything, right? Spindle for 5 here, he doesn't actually AB any of it, and then I get a look. A little insight to this hand is I see 2 tomes triple blue here, which is quite good, right? I have a blazing in my hand currently that I'm going to arsenal for the next turn, and something that you do is with that Deja Vu potion is obviously pitch both of those tomes, and then be able to stack your deck with that. If you activate Kano twice, pitch 1 blue, and then pitch the yellow in the red tome, and then Deja Vu back on top, put the 2 tomes on top, and then put the other blue. If I stack the other blue under it in red tome, I'm going to draw those 2 blues, and then now I have a yellow tome in banish that I can draw additional 2 cards, and then I just have a whole bunch of blues in my hand to be able just to Kano a whole bunch of times, hit a bunch of cards, and just keep going more often. We forgot the Ash specifically at this, so he should Necro should have a -1 counter and have an Ash. Obviously, I'm just like, yes, just do it, because we're just in a game to make it easy. But, you know, Dromai is at 26, right? Like, he's well into combo range if I had it, but he does have that Themai backup. I'm pretty much thinking at this time, because I don't see any cards specifically that are going to kill Themai. That's something that if I just saw like random cards that I couldn't really do much with, I would just opt all 5 on the bottom. But I'm really taking a think here, specifically because this line is pretty difficult, and I'm just thinking, do I put both tomes in my hand and then put and then have like 2 tomes, 2 blues, and then the last blue, or do I put a tome like that 5th card after drawing 5 to hit it off the top no matter what? But after thinking, like, not putting both tomes in your hand is fine, because I can't really block with 2 tomes in my hand because they're double block 2s, and it's just like not super efficient, and I know that I'm just taking 8 damage no matter what this turn off of the 2 dragons and Ash Wings and whatever else he plays. Obviously, did not feel too good when he starts off his turn with Red Tome, which is also something that I'm like, oh, you know, this is kind of scary. Can't interact on his turn at all either because of the Themai, so I'm just kind of waiting here, seeing what he does, counting every card that he plays to get like the super micro percentage points getting through there. That is something that happened multiple times this weekend, to where outs that you would never think you would need to think about during the game came up a couple of times and actually won me games, or really helped me get through it. So plays Uvia, so he gets to make a whole bunch of Ash Wings now. Has 2 Ash Wings plus Uvia, which isn't the most efficient thing for me. He starts actually being able to build defenses on his side. You know, he not only just has the 1 Themai, but he has, like, you know, other dragons to be able to keep on going with the pressure, and has a pretty good board right here as well. You know, has the Uvia, the Ash Wings, Themai, the Necria, and then he still has 2 cards in his hand. Let's see, forgetting what exactly. Oh, I remember what it was at this point. So he has a good board, he has a good pressure, he has a whole bunch of a lot of things. He's pretty set up as well because now he has AB2, so he can actually pitch if he draws like his blues or his yellows to come at me. But I have a pretty good setup here as well with the potion of deja vu to basically do some pretty crazy things going through. He's debating here if he should swing the Dromai because some people do have like Nourishing Emptiness, and I've played it in the past. I personally do not think I would ever play Nourishing Emptiness anymore. Just not my forte of cards that I want to play in this matchup because you do kind of have to combo or do some insane like multi-spell things specifically. So he's debating if he should swing Themai here as well. I do have the Spellflower Cloak in this matchup because sometimes you do need to combo, and even comboing them to single-digit life total is still very, very good, and you just want to have the resources on that turn 2, maybe that or that turn 2.5 there. Does have the CNC here. You can see my eyes roll a little bit. I was just not really wanting the CNC to come in here because I do have Blazing in my arsenal. And specifically because with the double tome, I can hit some pretty insane lines and then be able to Blazing as well. And he's at 26, so if I hit like a couple of spells and being able to Blazing from Arsenal, it could be really close to lethal as well. I don't want to double block this as well because it'd just be not something that you really want to do. Is to double block this, and then I just have tomes. So I do just throw the Blazing off camera a little bit. I do fix it, but this is a Blazing as well, and then just have to pretty much hope that this like tome play is pretty good. Just have to steal tempo, maybe hit something to kill Themai. So I do get to do the double Kano into the Potion of Deja Vu thing. Just explaining how it works, just for like clarification. It is really funny because when you watch Kano play, it does just feel like Kano's cheating because the deck just does like things that like no other deck in Flesh and Blood does. Especially because I do play like pretty fast because I know what's going on, right? Obviously, I'm the one that's like doing everything and setting everything up, which is pretty good here. So just in a Kano, and I hit a Blazing Aether off the top, which is really good. A Kano a second time, hit a red dart specifically, so I can kill the Themai on this turn. I have I believe 2 cards left in my hand, so I'm gonna pitch another time. I think both of them are blues. Hit a Sonic Boom, so hit 3 great cards off the top. Honestly, like pretty good hits as well. Drew blues on all 4. Drew 4 blues off the tomes as well. I knew 2 of them were gonna be blues, but the yellow tomes also drew 2 blues, which is obviously really great to be able to have a lot of the resources here as well. So I'm kind of counting out like what I can do here, and something that I need to be able to do is make the dart be a 4 for the Themai, but I also want to pump the Sonic Boom. So I'm kind of thinking like, how much resources do I have to be able to do everything? And with the last boom in my hand, I can have 2 resources, and then I can be able to Metacarpus Nodes to make the Sonic Boom a 5 here. So this is something that's super underrated, right? A lot of people only Metacarpus Nodes has allowed me to pump 2 different spells as well. Most of the time, I see a lot of people just keep nodes for only, like, they would just send the Sonic Boom for 3 here, and then they would, Crucible, Dart the Themai, and then either have to cast where they hit off Sonic Boom off the top, or, and then Blazing afterwards, probably doing a little bit less of damage, and like trying to keep that nodes for like to play off the top or to see a potential wildfire as well. Something that I think a lot of people don't really utilize as much is that Metacarpus Nodes can be used on your own turn. If you can get that double pump off the nodes, it is really good. You just need to be able to push damage in a lot of instances, and that is something that this is a pretty underrated play, and a pretty play that I was proud of seeing at this specific time as well, because I just need to be able to pump the Sonic Boom, over these 2 Ashwing specifically if I hit a 2 cost, so I can be able to pay for everything, and I also need to kill the Themai, and the nodes play here is just incredible to be able to do both of them as well. And I have a lot of spells on the stack. I'm pretty face up this time that I'm going to kill the Themai. I'm going to do a whole bunch of other things, and whatever this Sonic Boom hits. And I do have a Blazing, so he needs to hit a decent amount of them. So he's going to take 3 off of the Sonic Boom, just remembering what these cards that he's pitching is. And then my Sonic Boom hits a blue Scolding. Not the best hit off the top, it is just going to be 2 damage, but it is still enough chip damage. This 2 damage realistically is 4 damage because of the Blazing Aether, so it is still pretty good here as well. So I'm going to chunk him down a decent amount. Decides to take the 2 here, go to 21, and then I'm just doing the Blazing first to see what he specifically is going to do. If he's going to do, like, he's going to AB any of this. If he was going to AB, he was going to AB the Amir Scolding, but he has a whole bunch of, like, dragons and needs to turn them on. So at this point, when he takes the 2 off the blue Scolding, I believe he has like a 1 cost in his hand that he needs to play to be able to get go again on all this stuff, as well. So just one of those means to his starter is a 1 cost, I believe, in my hand from the read of him taking 2, or he's trying to have 1 red in his hand and then a blue in his hand to, like, kind of throw off the math of, like, me having to play off the top the next turn, or not, right? So ends up taking the 5, going to 16 here, and then I'm going to Dart Themi, paying for nodes to be able to kill it, so I can, if I have to, just kind of go for it the following turn, which is I kind of expecting to do here. I still have Ragmuffin's hat, so there's a lot of different things I can do, but it is pretty cool because he's at 16 with 3 Ash Rings, which is, I can kill him from this position as well, especially because he does play Red Tome here, and I have to think, although when I look at my hand, I really just don't have the resources, and I really wish I can see, like, I move my head, I'm like, oh man, you know, if I had the resources, I 100% would Kano here, just because it is very hard to live from this position as well, and he only has 1 card in his hand. And so if he has a red, he's only at 17 realistically, which I have a Wildfire in my hand, so being able to Wildfire, like, double spell off the top is something that could have happened as well this turn, which is pretty interesting. But I have a whole bunch of reds in my hand, so I am gonna think if it's worth even attempting to go for it. But I'll let him do the tome thing, and then he's gonna draw, and then, you know, obviously pitch those 2 as well. Just some slight thinking on that side as well, just because it's just like I don't have enough resources to do it, so I have to hope that I can block like 3 cards, which is, so I'm at 15. You know, I'm sitting down like 4 Kadachis basically, and the Necro, which is 8 damage already. But he's gonna pitch 2 cards and only have 1 card left in his hand. So even if he has 8 damage now, and then he would need something, I don't know, block 9. So he needs something that does 7 damage to basically threaten lethal against me. So there's not a lot of cards in his list that would do that specifically, so let's just see where we're at here. So he's gonna ask for Flame Skill. I'm just gonna let it pass because I would always do that before the tome anyways, so let it happen. He's thinking if he should, you know, basically attack with these Ash Rings or not. He decides to play the card from his hand first, so he's going to play this Billowing Mirage, then he's going to make another Ash Wing as well. So I'm counting basically all the damage he has right here. So there's going to be 5 Kadachis, so that's going to put me to 1, and then I need to block this attack and then double block the Necro to basically survive, which is going to be, you know, obviously not the best. I would go to 1, I get Arsenal 1 card, so I can't actually keep 2, like, the best possibility is being able to keep 2 cards here, which I am not allotted to do so because I have to block with 3 cards. So definitely gonna keep this this Wildfire. I looked at my graveyard. That's like something that you should always do, is be able to make sure you know what the threats I have left in my deck, especially like important with Kano, because there's so many different lines with the deck, and so many different possibilities that could happen, that you need to be able to, like, know where you're at basically at any time, and what threats you still have left, right? So thinking about it a little bit, thinking about blocks a little bit, just making sure, like, double, triple checking the math to I don't just like randomly lose the game off me sequencing it. So block 3 here, and then, you know, take the 4 ash wings here, go to 2. I have a blue dart in my hand, so I technically could kill like an ash wing and then stop the entire front. So weird hits, and he throws the Dracai, and I throw 2 cards at the Dracai to live at 1 and just pass. Draws up, I put the wildfire in my arsenal, which is the last card I could keep. Then I drop to 4. He needs to make another ash wing, so he has 5 ash wings here, and looks at his hand. He sees Themai, a yellow card, a sand cover, and another red here. So it's a pretty good hand from him as well. And he has a whole bunch of ash wings, Uvia, and then this Necria, which is quite hard to play around, I would say, as well, but he just has to play the right card to get everything go again to start off this turn. So best opportunity is if it's a 1 or 2 cost, so he has to use 2 cards. But he's going to pitch the yellow and have Themai, and he basically tells me, I have Themai, go for it right now or you 100% lose. So he has 2 cards in his hand, and he has Themai on the stack. So basically it's let's see what we can do here. I have Eye, so I'm going to pitch it to the Crucible first as well, to opt 2, because I'm going to wildfire 100%, so I want to be able to stack my deck in a way to where I need to be able to Kano another spell, and then Ragamuffins the 3rd spell, right? Because I have, you know, I have another red spell in my hand, I believe. Yeah, I have another spell in my hand that I want to put on top, right? But I have to make sure I have all the resources to do everything, which is something that you have to think about the entire time. So I'm gonna the Crucible specifically here. I actually wins me the game in this position because it allows me to check what cards I have on top, to be able to do the math and to do, there's no blind things anymore, right? I know what I'm gonna hit, I know what's on top, I know what I can do with everything, and that's all right there. Double checking a ruling on one of the cards as well. I know there's a lot of people that talk about, like, oh, why would you play Eye if it's just a whiff in your deck, and then, oh, it loses you the game. But this is a position where I single-handedly would win me the game from this position, knowing what cards are on top. So I'm Kanoing to hit the Gaze, which is basically a redraw and another opt later down the line. Helps me set up additional things throughout the entire this entire turn. So Gaze is pretty good because I can wildfire for my arsenal and then Gaze in response to see if I can pump or what other spells come after, which is pretty important, right? You know, play that Storm Shatters, and then I'm gonna come in with the Wildfire, and then obviously I'm gonna do a couple things here. I'm going to Ragamuffins because I know the second card, because off of Eye, is another blue, so I can put this other card on top, 100% know it's there. Oh, I'm a little stuffed. And not Gaze first, I need to Kano first. I accidentally flipped that Gaze here, and then instantly think about it, and I was like, oh, sorry, my bad. And he's like, obviously, it's the same card you revealed. I'm going to Kano the Sonic Boom that's in my hand, and then I'm going to play the Gaze to be able to opt to basically set up the entire rest of the turn. Because now, because I have Sonic Boom specifically, I know what I'm going to hit off of Sonic Boom as well. And then being able to hit off Sonic Boom and to be able to set up additional spells down the line, because I can, if I do have enough resources to play a 1 cost off the top with the Spellfire Cloak as well, if I need to, and I still have the Sonic Boom coming in as well. So if he just double pitches red here and then takes 3 off Wildfire, I know I'm going to have the Sonic Boom, another spell, and potentially a 4 spell if I find a 1 cost as well. And then you can see here that I'm going to layer these cards very specifically, because I see a red Aether Flare, and then I see one red Aether Flare, and then I see a blue Scolding off this, right? So I'm just thinking about the actual damage that I'm dealing with these cards here. If it's lethal, 100%, depending on what he pitches to this wildfire to the max amount of damage, what else I could hit off the top, if it's good enough or not. In other situations, I'm gonna put the red off the top so I can Kano it, and then be able to cast it if needed as well. And I'm just kind of like double, triple checking like math if it makes sense. If I can do anything better than these two cards basically on top that I see, and just debating like what position to put them back in, all of that. It's really complicated, and just hope. I'm just basically like, yep, this is the best I can basically do without hitting another wildfire. So I just have to wait and see what he does here. And I see the sand cover, and I'm like, oh god, now I gotta rethink about everything that I just did, and hope that I did it correctly for this specific situation here. So he has the sand cover, but then I'm thinking more in here is like, I did put the red Aether Flare on top, which can bail me out of the situation here. So I'm thinking about it to where if I can do everything and then this wildfire hits, does my Sonic Boom and my Blue Scolding do enough damage at 16 through basically anything if I can do there? So now you can see I'm saying yes, I'm going to allow that sand cover to resolve. I'm going to Kano. I'm going to look at this red Aether Flare, and then I'm going to send this red Aether Flare to hopefully pop this sand cover, because it has Ward 4. I can spend this spell to try to be able to pop this sand cover specifically. Paid the 1 into it for 3. Only card I lose to here is a blue pitch. If he has a blue pitch, the sand cover is going to hit the wildfire, and I won't be able to do enough damage from what setup I have here. So really hoping. You can see I'm crossing my fingers he doesn't have it. So it does hit the sand. It does hit the sand cover, prevents it. Just has another red in hand, so this is going to do 4. So he goes down to 12, and then I can be able to tap, you know, the cloak to go to 2, and then send the Sonic Boom for a total of 7 here. So he's at 12. He's going to go to 5 here, and then it's going to be Blue Scolding for 8 damage for lethal here. And one of the most incredible endings to a game here. I'm super pumped that I got, you know, the stream game on Kano, and to be able to pull it out in one of those matchups that can go either way versus, you know, one of the best players on the planet currently, Shantz. Just an incredible game on camera. Just multiple turns of these niche micro decisions, being able to hit well, being able to show really what Kano can do at a high level. This is one of the best metas for Kano, I would say, and I can't wait to see more events playing him and more events and camera matches in the future, hopefully. And we'll just see how, you know, heavy hitters also impacts the meta moving forward. Hopefully Kano can be something that is allotted to be good in the next meta as well, and I can't wait to see what can happen. I love playing Kano. Hopefully I can get a specialization maybe, or another wizard card that could be almost playable maybe in a Kano list. Hopefully they print another wizard card. The last wizard card that we got was pretty bad, and before that it was like 13 months before we had wizard support. So I'm really hoping that there's something in the expansion slot for wizard that is really good, or something that is at least playable in Kano, maybe a sideboard card at the very least. So thank you guys for watching this episode, a little special one because I was on camera in versus this game. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll get some more Kano content for you guys, because I know it is something that I'm kind of known for at this time, but I'll try to get that out as soon as possible as well. So see you guys in the next one. Cease.